Welcome to Ask and Share, first episode, The Art of Evaluation.
CP has been a member of Toastmasters International for 10 years now. He was awarded Toastmaster of the Year for 2018 to 2019. Proudly to present to you, he is also the second runner-up in District 102 2020 to 2021 International Speech Contest. Without further ado, let us put our hands together to welcome our keynote speaker today, Distinguished Toastmaster, CP Lau. Over to you, CP.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Let's make this session a very casual, not so formal, because our founder, Dr. Rafsi Smedley, always said, we learn best in the environment of joy. So don't stress it up that you are going to do evaluation later on. To me, evaluation is not rocket science. In fact, evaluation is an art that we can learn and we can improve from time to time. All we need is to participate, to practice, and in time to come, we shall be a good evaluator to our fellow members. I think most of us, or in fact, all of us are members of Sutera Utama Toastmasters Club. Can I have a show of hands if you have evaluated more than 20 speeches for the last 6 months? Why Bernard is not raising your hand? Why? All right. Okay. So there's no secret about it. All we need to do, in fact, is we need to listen to various variety of speeches so that we can understand, or we can have the experience of how different speakers deliver their speeches. Before I move on, let's do a icebreaker game. I believe you have your mobile phone with you and with internet access. Let's scan on this particular QR code and you will have a question. Answer the question. What is your fear in evaluating a speech? I am sure some of you would have declined your Vice President of Education that you cannot be an evaluator because of what and what. Let's type it and then send it out so that we can have some answers from all of you. I'm not good enough. Valid at the moment. Qualification. Humanity will cry. I don't know how to start. Okay. Unable to find fault. All right. Humanity will cry. No confidence to evaluate others. I don't know how to start anymore. Never tried before. Good statement. We shall start soon. Afraid giving wrong comment. Short time preparation to present. Always think how to evaluate and can't concentrate to listen. All right. I will stop this. All the answers, there's no right and no wrong because this is personal experience. You don't know how to start. That's very, very valid reason, because if you're only a 1 month old in Toastmasters, perhaps you really don't know how to start. And in our pathways, in level 1, there's a project for you to evaluate someone's speeches. And sometimes you will be thrown to evaluate a project at level 3. I think that's a bit unfair to you. And don't know how to start. Perhaps after today, we have some understanding of how we should, or what we should look into when we evaluate a project. Let me share my screen again. I'm very new to this new software. Can you see me? With a slide on my right?
Yes.
All right, good. Just now, Joanne mentioned that the art of evaluation, I would make a slight changes to the title, evaluate to motivate. And in your answer earlier on, someone mentioned that you scared to give wrong comment. Actually, there's no comment is right or wrong, because we have to always bear in mind that evaluation is purely our personal opinion. So it is up to the speaker to accept whether that comment or that feedback is relevant or is applicable to him based on his style or not. Yeah. So don't be afraid that you are giving wrong comment, because if you don't do it, you will never know that your comment is correct or wrong. And so to start off, I would like to check, as a speaker, we will always want to ask, what's in it for me, or what's in it for you to receive evaluation or to receive feedback from someone as a speaker? Would anyone have any answer that you can turn on your mic and just say it out loud? No? All right. So for the speaker, when we receive feedback, obviously we want to be a better speaker in future, because someone sees us, what have we done well and where are the areas that we can improve on, and we will work on those suggested improvement, then we will become a better speaker. And throughout all the effort that you have, all the attempts that you deliver the speech and you receive feedback, I'm sure you will build your confidence along the line. That is something that we cannot deny, because each time you deliver a speech and you receive suggestions on areas of improvement, the next time that you deliver, you will be slightly more confident than the last time. So it is the process of building confidence. And the other benefit that we receive feedback from someone is to build and maintain our self-esteem. Of course, that is basing on one of the assumptions that we do not receive very harsh critics from someone. Yeah. So assume someone is always encouraging and always inspiring. It will eventually build and maintain your self-esteem, so that it triggers you to want to deliver more, want to deliver better speeches in future. So there's benefits for a speaker to receive feedback. How about as an evaluator? What's in it for you to evaluate a speech as an evaluator? Number one, we can train our listening skills. Because each time, if we are on physical meeting, someone may have been delivering the speech, and your surrounding may be factors, or maybe factors that distracting you. So how do we train ourselves to listen very attentively to a speech? Yeah. So there's always practice and always pay attention to what the speaker is trying to tell us, and try to understand the meaning of that particular speech that he wants to bring out, or the message that he wants to bring out. The other point is, it can improve our analytical skills. If you say this speech is good, how good it is, let's do some analysis about it. And we will go through that later on. And we learn how to give constructive feedback. We don't just say, you are no good. You should improve on your vocal variety. But how? Vocal variety covers a lot of things. You should improve your body languages. Which part of body language I should improve? Stage control, my eye contact, or my hand gestures? So how do we give a very constructive, so that the recipient of the feedback will know exactly what you meant about improve on my body language? So there are a few stages that we will need to prepare. There are a few stages that we will need to prepare before we give out our evaluation. So there's a stage of before the speech. Before the regular meeting or our club meeting, you are being assigned as an evaluator for example, myself, I was an evaluator for Joanne in the last meeting. So what do I need to do? First of all, I would like to understand the speech objective. Joanne was delivering her icebreaker speech. So I would like to understand what is meant by icebreaker speech. I'm not sure among you, when you are a evaluator of a speaker, what do you ask for from the speaker? Or you are waiting for the VPE to just give you the evaluation form? Adeline?
Yes.
If you are appointed or you are assigned as an evaluator for Eves, for example,
Okay.
you just based on the evaluation form?
No. I will read out all the project purpose for the assignment.
Good, yeah. How about YY? I think YY evaluated before.
Yes. Okay, can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Can you hear us?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So when you evaluate a speech, you just based on the evaluation form, or do you refer to any other documents?
Man is follow the evaluation guideline and understand their speech context before, so that I can easily match with it.
Yes. Well done. Yeah. So that's the thing that we need to get it from the speaker, because when the speaker access to TI website, he or she will actually have 3 important documents. Number 1 is called project checklist. What are the things that he or she need to prepare? There's a second document, a very big file size document. Perhaps it could be 1 to 2 meg size document. It lists down in detail what you should prepare or how you should prepare your speech. For example, a research and presenting. It even tells you why or what are the information that you need to have in your presentation. For example, some statistics. And these statistics, what are the source of the statistics? It actually explains very well in that document. So as an evaluator, I will always ask a speaker to provide me this document, including the icebreaker speech. That's why I asked from Joanne, can you give me the 18 pages document so that I can understand what do I look out for in your icebreaker speech? And of course, the last one will be the evaluation form. That's where the evaluation guideline. Because the first page is 3 sections. You done well? What do you do well? Any comments and the challenges? If you look at the second page, there are all the scoring. Those are the area that we will need to pay attention to a speaker, so that we can score them according to the 5 points. And then if we have comment, we should write it down there. And the third point, which is very important, we should communicate with the speaker. Like I communicated with Joanne, besides the icebreaker speech that I'm going to evaluate you, what any other areas that you want me to pay attention to? That's why she told me, I would like you to pay an attention on my speech structure, because when I go on, I can get lost very easily and I lost my direction. So in my evaluation, I actually evaluated Joanne also in terms of the speech structure, how she structured her speech in terms of opening, body of the speech, as well as the conclusion. That it is not part of the icebreaker speech evaluation. But because I have communicated with Joanne, that's why I pay additional or extra attention on this part. Yeah. So we should also communicate with the speaker. You are delivering this speech. What are you trying to tell us? Try to have some understanding so that when we listen to the speech, we will try to find this and then try to feedback to the speaker. You have done this, but I think it is not enough. Perhaps you can do some other things. That feedback will be very, very useful for the speaker, for him or for her to improve on in the subsequent speeches. And during the speech, so after we have prepared and we have set the expectation, then come to the day of the club meeting and someone presented this speech in front of you. So during the speech, what do we need to do? What are I would say the word attitude, that we should show in front of the speaker? During the offline meeting, can you imagine your speaker is speaking in front of or on the stage, or let's say you are the speaker speaking on the stage, and you notice your evaluator down there busy talking to the one next to him or her. How do you feel? Disappointed, right? Is my evaluator listening to my speech? Or you are speaking and you see your evaluator was very busy on the mobile phone typing messages or very busy on the laptop doing some other work. I'm sure that feeling is actually not a good feeling at all. Same thing when we come to online speeches, online meeting. When you speak and you notice your evaluator did not turn on the camera, it actually, to me personally, I find it a bit distracting because I don't know whether he or she is listening or not. Or while you are speaking, you keep noticing that the chat room, my evaluator has been sending messages and that messages are not related to my speech. So as an evaluator, we should always uphold two of our core values in Toastmasters International. Number one, respect. We should always respect the speaker. That's why when the speaker that I'm going to evaluate, I'll always turn on my camera so that I show that I'm interested in listening to you. So please perform well. Number two, excellence. When we give evaluation, it can be a project for you because you are doing an evaluation project. But to me, our evaluation should go beyond just fulfilling a project. Our evaluation should aim to help our speakers to bring their speech to the next level. That should be our ultimate aim. That's where we strive for excellence. So, fellow Toastmasters, always remember when we evaluate, we want to help. Of course, when we are in evaluation contest, we want to win. But in the normal meeting, when I took up an evaluation role, I will always have this in mind. I want to help my speaker. That's why show that you are interested. It is very important during the speech. And then listen, observe, and take note. Listen to the speech. There are a few areas that we need to pay attention to, which I'll come up to that. Observe the audience reaction. Observe the emotion that the speaker wants to bring out, and always based on two golden question basis. I always mention this. I'm sure many of you have heard this. What have you done well? And what are the areas for you to improve? So with these two golden questions, you will have the answer for your evaluation and you will know how to evaluate. Oh, I see green light already. I must go faster. And always put yourself into the position of the speaker. When he talk about this story, what kind of emotion that he or she wants to bring out, I will always try to put myself into that position. During pandemic, he or she lost her job. I'll try to imagine, I'll try to put myself into that position so that I will want to try to feel the emotion or the difficulty that he or she is facing. And before the speech, sorry, it's not, it should be during your evaluation, always evaluate the speech, not the speaker. Always focus on the content of the delivery. Always focus on how the speech being delivered, not the person. Wow, today you look so handsome, so this is the right way that you should dress up and so on. That's secondary. All the speaker would like to know is, my speech okay or not? If I'm using this kind of tonality to deliver this kind of speech, is it acceptable or not? Receptive or not? So focus on the speech and focus on the delivery. For example, how do you find the speech? If in your evaluation, we can always say, I like your speech so much, but how do you like my speech? So I will always say, if you have a very good structure in your speech, and then why I say you have a good structure, I will say my why. I will answer the question, or I will answer the statement why I like your structure of the speech. For example, you have a very catchy opening. You caught my attention and I want to listen to you more. And in your body of the speech, you have provided us very informative statistics, and those information is very good for us to improve in ourselves. So those are why that I said your structure of the speech is good. And at the conclusion, you brought up a very good call for an action, so that I will want to sign up your program after this. So this is how you like the structure. And tell me something that I haven't heard. That's very important, that we do not repeat the content of the speech. Okay. We do not do summary. We only have 2 to 3 minutes to evaluate. If you have mentioned about this point 1, point 2, point 3, everybody in the room had listened to your points. So just analyze on the points that you delivered. That's more important. That's what evaluation should be. Instead of you have talked about this 1, 2, 3, and I like it very much. Yeah, you like it. Why you like it? How do you like it? Give us the why and the answer of your statement. That is more important in an evaluation. Always remember, no personal attack, no criticism. Imagine if someone tells you, if you have failed, I'm not convinced in your speech. I'm not convinced by your speech. So you have failed in this persuasive speech. This is very critical and this is very harsh. Perhaps we may want to change to another way of saying it, which it comes to this part. Choice of words. Always be encouraging, always be appropriate. The words that we use should be appropriate, and do not be harsh. Remember, it is always your opinion. If I may, I would like to suggest to you to consider this. That's my personal opinion. Instead of say, you cannot do this. So I would say, you have done this, and I felt the level of attraction is not enough. Perhaps you may consider invoking. That's where your suggestions comes in. So eliminate to use the word you and always use the word I, because it is purely our own personal opinion. And always evaluate like a sandwich. Give the positive feedback. What have you done so well? And then move on with a suggestion for improvement. At the end, give them an encouragement. So instead of eating a plain piece of meat, you look at the sandwich, it is so tasty and it's so colorful that someone will try to make the sandwich and try to eat the sandwich very tastefully. Or we call it, another one is called evaluate like a pie. Always praise how do you like the speech, and always give improvement and encourage the speaker so that he is so desired to continue to give more speeches. And I see red light for quite some time. And last point I want to highlight. Sometimes less is more. Give 3 areas that the speaker did well, 2 suggestions for improvement. Perhaps the speaker may have a lot of area that need to improve, we can always bring that offline so that you can continue to communicate. That's the word we always use, communicate. And that's why we are in Toastmasters. We always communicate. After provide these 3 good points, 2 areas of improvement, then personally, offline, we can continue to communicate with the speaker on other areas, on other suggestions. So I hope this gives you a better picture on how we should look at a speech and how we should provide our evaluation. Always be encouraging. Don't use harsh words. Don't do personal attack. And sandwich method, I believe some of you may have heard this sandwich method many times in the meeting, or pie method: praise, improvement, encouragement. With that, I shall end my sharing here. Perhaps we will have more discussion after this, because really we do not have enough time on this. Yeah. With that, thank you very much. I shall pass the control back to Toastmaster of the Day, Joanne.
Thank you very much, CP. Let us give him a big hand for his very inspiring and very motivating sharing. I think we all agree that after CP sharing, we have to evaluate to motivate.
If you like to learn something extra, feel free to tell us to our VPE or any our ESCOM members. I hope you really learn something. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Sutera Utama Toastmasters Club.